Hey, King David D&G Music. One of the reasons why maybe your tracks are not sounding so professional is because you are not dealing with the details. I want to show you how you can deal with the details in FL Studio to make more professional music. Just one of the details. Now remember, this is a big, vast world. It's not just one little thing, and that's going to fix your tracks. If you're thinking that way, you're probably a hobby musician. If you're thinking that it's going to take some time to hone and really fine tune it, then you're probably more on the professional side of the house. One of the problems with music today is that people are forgetting about the details. Why? Because they're not musicians to start with. What I mean by that, they have not performed in a band, never played in an orchestra, never toured, never. So they missed a lot of the details that go into making professional music. So all across the board, music is suffering. It seems it's selling a lot. A lot of that is due to the celebrity, and a lot of that is due to the content that's being talked about in the music. But it's not as good as, say, in the days of, definitely not in the days of Michael Jackson, Thriller, because they had so much detail in that music. So I want to get you back into really paying attention to the details so you can start to make these classic, professional, really great songs. And even if you have a song that's not so great, you can make it sound even better. All right. So just one of those small little aspects is a thing called velocity. Now, before we get into this, I want to let you know the quality of the audio is not going to be great because I'm recording from my studio monitors right through the little microphone on this camera. I'm doing that for a reason because this work is going to be part of future tutorials, and it's also going to be some of the work that I do business with, and I'm not looking to put my work out there to the world so people can just download it. So when you come to, let's say, beatclass.com or any of the other websites, and you'll hear the music on those tutorials. It's going to be clean, clear, straight through the sound card. All right, just want to clear that up. All right, so here's the deal. Velocity. Just one little aspect of making a more professional track is if you pay attention to the velocity, note velocity. We see it all the time, but a lot of us we don't do nothing with it. We see the velocity, but we don't do anything with it. The reason why is because we probably don't know what to do with it. Now, velocity is the speed at which you hit a note. That's why it's velocity. Terminal velocity, speed. All right. It's not volume. Volume is the size of the wave or the audio. Velocity is how fast that wave enters into your ear. So, what I want to do is I want to show you how using velocity can create dynamic lines so that you don't have this one-dimensional music and you have this broad personality driven music. All right, let me just play this one line, and I think I might have to find it first. Let me find it. There it is. All right, so if you listen to this line, it's boom 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 boom. Now, if you heard that line, how would you want that line to play? Would you want it to go bum 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 bum, or would you want it to go bum 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 bum? Would you want it to have more personality, or would you want it to just be like bum 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 bum? All right. So you want to give it personality. What you want to do is you want to go to the velocity section, and anytime you play a line in FL Studio, a velocity note is created. Now the velocity is how you played it on the keyboard. So if you played it hard and consistently, it's going to be the same velocity each time. If you played it with dynamics, then it's gonna reflect that in the velocity. Right now, my velocities are already set, so I got it so that it sounds unique and it has its own style. But I'm going to go ahead and flatline it. In other words, I want to make them all the same velocity. All right, bam. And then I want you to listen and see which sounds better. All right, here we go. Now, if you can't hear the difference, that's all right too, because sometimes, when you're new to listening for these details, you may not be that tuned to hearing this stuff. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly, the lead line that leads up to this note right here, I'm going to slowly rise. I'm going to go boom, 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 boom. All right, so let me just bring my velocity down. All I have to do is left click on my mouse and hold it down, and I can make this whole thing go where I want it to go. All right, so that looks like it's going to go boom, 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 boom. And then I want to go boom, 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 boom. Actually, I want to rise again. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so let's do that. You see how I'm just painting it in? And this is cool because you can make it nice and smooth, make a nice smooth transition. All right, bam, bam. All right, now play it back. Maybe you can hear it. See how it creeps in? Boom, 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 boom. Now, that's a real subtle change. But when you apply that to all of your tracks, you get this dynamic moving track. It's kind of like like I said, some of the early productions that you heard, Michael Jackson Thriller. It was so much personality in every little part that you had this. When you put it all together, you get this whole total production that sounds really, really good, and it moves you in your core rather than just that's a nice beat. So I want you to start using these velocity notes. Now in the tutorials, I'm going to show you other ways that you can actually add more personality into your music. And there's so much more. It's a vast world. And once you start operating in this world, you're starting now to create this whole unique style. The thing is, no two producers are going to make it sound the same. So that's how your music begins to take on its own personality, and you become to can get a signature sound to your music, because no two of us are going to make the same choices. So when you start making these micro choices, you're actually taking your music and you're making it unique in a crowd of everybody sounding the same. So this is a really important step if you want to be a professional music producer. All right, my name is King David. This has been a quick FL Studio lesson, probably a little bit longer than I thought. I'll play the whole thing on the way out. And remember to go pick up the How to Make Chris Brown style beats using FL Studio over at beatclass.com. We got so much more coming at you. Just so much more. It's coming. And I look forward to working with you and helping you become more professional in your music production. All right, one love. Peace.